Dumelan, Tsirinki. Welcome to another fire episode of the Mobile School Podcast. Remember, don't like, don't share, don't tell people about it. Nobody really cares, bro. Today, I just want to talk about the sham that is the back to school project that's been happening in South Africa and all over the world. Like in certain countries, they're talking about, oh, this is the first time in 2 years that kids are going back to school. And South Africa is acting like kids have been going to school because they've been able to talk about their e-tech strategies, like sending children uh, notes and questions via WhatsApp and all that stuff. But to be honest, it's all a sham, man. The whole back to school is a sham, and I think that's something we need to talk about because we are lying to a lot of kids and telling them to come into this system of education that's not producing enough jobs, that doesn't even allow them to be employed in other things. This is the perfect time to go into the informal settlement job market. Like, we need to get people who are going to be able to trade on the streets. But more than that, we need people who are going to be in construction. We need people who are going to be in plumbing. And also, you've noticed how our xenophobic government is trying to stop Zimbabweans who are willing to do the jobs that we don't want to do from coming into the country. You're gonna see that South Africans don't like working in construction. South Africans don't like working as waiters and waitresses. And when they do work in those industries, they're not as productive as those motherfuckers. Of course, you can claim like, oh, those guys are working hard because they're being exploited. You know the laws. Make sure that you work the hours that you've signed a contract to work. So I just want to talk about back to school should focus on manual labor. Stop taking your kids to school to learn about biology so they can go to university and do sociology. No, guys, stop it. We need to stop it. Like, our education system is becoming a babysitting project where kids are being babysat from 6 until they're 18, and we don't know what to do with them when they're like 19 and say, hey, which industry should I go into? They can't go into engineering. They can't go into IT because there's no resources in schools. You don't have computers in like township schools. So it's very important that we start focusing on like manual labor, and that's something schools should do. Focus on manual labor, go back to that school system, which is a sham, but we need to change. Parents, it's time. If your kid is into art, get them into art. If your kid is not feeling this whole science and math thing, get him into plumbing, get him into fixing computers. By the time he's older, he'll be able to do more things in terms of technology. But stop this nonsense. Stop this nonsense of letting your kids study things that don't matter. Geography. Like, that's a Google search. They don't have to spend 2 years studying about fucking Colombia. Fuck that shit. With that said, remember, this is not a podcast. I'm not a podcaster. I'm an independent TED Talk. Havash.